to begin? It's been an eventful week. Went to Hogwarts for the first time in a while, and this is Ron's last week at the Ministry. His going away party is Friday. We'll see how that goes.
Hold on, before we get into that. Did you speak to Molly?
Oh, right. Well...
Oh, sorry, are you hot?
Oh,
Oh, wonderful. She gave you a jumper.
yeah.
It went well then.
It did. I apologised, and she pretty immediately burst into tears.
Oh.
No, that's normal for her.
So she accepted your apology?
She did. She actually said she was sorry, but I told her she shouldn't be, you know. I think I do take her for granted sometimes.
I'm sure that meant a lot to her. So what was this about Ron leaving the Ministry?
Oh, yeah, Ron and I are Auras at the Ministry.
How exciting.
It might be if she took out the paperwork. Anyway, Ron's leaving to work with his brother George at his joke shop, Weasley's Wizard Wheezers.
Ah, yes, my son's a fan.
Nice. Well, his going away party's Friday, and we're all going out for drinks.
Sounds like fun.
Hopefully. I'm a bit nervous. I've been pretty annoyed with Ron lately. Been trying not to show it, but I feel like if we're all going out and there's alcohol involved.
I see. Why have you been annoyed with him?
Couple reasons, I guess. For starters, I'm not thrilled with his leaving. I mean, we joined at the same time, and we work on a lot of assignments together.
You feel like he's abandoning you?
I guess so. I feel like he's running away from responsibility, to be honest.
You don't approve?
I don't know. I mean, the rest of us are getting serious about our careers, and Ginny and I are having a baby. I mean, sure, he didn't like it that I got promoted before him, but he didn't have to give up just because he was jealous.
You think he's jealous of you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you should have seen how smug he was when he managed to do one thing better than me.
Harsh, but continue.
I'm not saying it's bad at his job. He's not. He just gets way too insecure. And really, I think it's his Hogwarts thing that set me off. That's why I'm being so harsh.
Let's hear it then.
Well, it's kind of a long story. Basically, this second-year student discovered that a professor was involved in some black market trading. And Professor McGonagall, well, Minerva, as she's asked me to call her, caught the student, Evelyn, that's her name, trying to investigate the professor on her own. She got most of the story out of Evelyn, but she felt like she was still hiding something. So she asked us to come talk with her. I guess she figured since we're not teachers, we might be able to get through to her better.
Interesting. Which professor was involved, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, he's a new professor, Michael Corner. Yeah. He teaches, oh God, I can never remember the name. It starts with an A. Runes and maths.
Arithmancy?
That one, yeah. He was in my year, actually. He's a smart bloke, but a bit of a dolt. He dated Ginny for a bit. And my ex-girlfriend, actually.
I'm sure you're not the slightest bit biased.
Well, perhaps, but Ron and I talked to Evelyn. She was a total brat. She wouldn't even repeat her testimony for us. And she made fun of my glasses.
Oh, I think they look sharp.
Thank you. Anyway, it felt like we were wasting our time, so I got up and left, and Ron kept talking to her. And I ended up getting caught up in this thing with Slughorn, and by the time I got...
Is he still alive?
Yeah, I'll come back to that. Anyway, by the time I got back, Ron had this smug look on his face. I guess Evelyn had warmed up to him because she told him what she'd been hiding. Apparently, on top of everything else, she had snuck into Corner's office and found a note with an address and time written on it, which Ron has since waved in my face on multiple occasions.
Charming. Why do you think she wouldn't talk to you?
Well, I was being sort of tough with her.
Tough how?
She was just being so reckless and so stupid. I felt like I had to talk some sense into her.
You were reprimanding her?
I suppose you could say that. But you have to understand what she did.
Do tell.
Well, it started because she snuck out after hours to hang out with Hagrid and...
Sorry, the groundskeeper?
Yeah, they're friends.
Is it normal for students to sneak out of bed to visit the groundskeeper?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I did it loads of times. Well, I suppose it is kind of weird, but Hagrid's great, and, it's not really fair what they did to him. He's not allowed to do magic, so I think people don't really give him a chance, and it makes him kind of lonely. I guess that's why he gets on so well with animals and kids.
That was nice of you to show him compassion.
Oh, no, it wasn't like that. I mean, Hagrid can take care of himself, and he helped take care of me. We're still close.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't know him that well when I was at school. He did always seem very kind. But you were saying?
Oh, well, Evelyn was leaving Hagrid's hut and she saw Corner going into the Forbidden Forest. I guess he looked suspicious because he was carrying something, so she followed him.
Into the forest?
I know, definitely a Gryffindor.
What was he carrying?
Animal traps, big ones. He buried them deep in the forest and then put a dead rat on top of each one as bait.
Okay.
Yeah, then he left, but she stayed behind and hid. And she said she noticed some spiders on the ground, but I guess she didn't realise she was in Acromantula's part of the forest.
My goodness.
Yeah, well, pretty soon a big one came along, and when it got close to the rat, the trap sprang up and locked the spider in a cage.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so then this girl decides she has to go spring all of the cages to make sure that no more spiders get caught.
So the professor was smuggling acromantulas.
Oh, yeah, there's a huge market for acromantula venom because of its magical properties.
I've heard that.
So after she's cleared all the cages, then she decides she needs to take the one spider back to the castle to try and figure out how to magically unlock its cage.
How did she get caught?
Well, she was having trouble unlocking it. Obviously, she's 12 years old. The spider started getting hungry, so she went to Hagrid to ask how to feed it, and he told McGonagall what she did, Minerva.
Why didn't she go to Minerva to begin with?
Well, she knew McGonagall would get the Ministry involved, and I guess she didn't trust us not to muck things up. She wanted more proof before we confronted him.
How did you respond to that?
Well, I told her she was making excuses so she could play the hero.
How did she respond to that?
You're Harry Potter. How can you ask me to follow the rules?
What did she mean?
Well, I wasn't exactly a rule follower. I mean, I know that. Everybody knows that. But when I did, I was trying to stop Lord Voldemort. I mean, if I kept secrets, it was because the Ministry proved they couldn't be trusted back then.
I guess that must be how she feels now.
Which is absurd. I mean, this is obviously a dangerous situation she's getting involved in, and by keeping things to herself, she's just wasting valuable time. I, at least, knew when I needed to go to a teacher for help.
To be fair, she did go to Hagrid.
Well, I'm not being a hypocrite. This girl could have died.
I wasn't accusing you of that, but now that you mention it...
All right, maybe I am being a hypocrite, but that's why I was so concerned. I mean, there were plenty of times I almost died. I really shouldn't be a role model. I had loads of help, and at the end of the day, it was just luck that things worked out most of the time. But what Evelyn hasn't learned yet is that things don't always work out, and I don't want her to have to learn that the same way I did.
What do you mean?
I wasn't careful when I should have been my 5th year, and it didn't work out.
What happened?
Sirius died, and it was my fault.
I can't imagine that's entirely true. You yourself just said everything you did was based on luck. If you can't take credit for your successes, shouldn't you be more forgiving of your failures?
No.
Why do you say that?
I don't want to talk about this right now.
All right. Shall we go back to Evelyn?
Sure.
Was the fact that she reminded you so much of yourself the reason why you were so aggressive towards her?
Probably. I mean, when I was her age, I thought I was invincible too. But I kept thinking about her parents, like if they found out she died or something.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, like I kept imagining that they made me tell them, and I'd explain what she was doing in the forest, why she would put herself in danger when she didn't have to. And, was she not thinking of them?
Did you ask her that?
I did. And she made some joke about how when they see her potions grade, they might kill her themselves. Ron thought that was very funny.
Why do you think she was willing to talk to Ron?
Things like that. I mean, he thought the whole thing was a laugh.
Well, he didn't think there was anything wrong with what she did.
Well, he agreed it was dangerous. He didn't seem like he was taking it seriously.
Yet he did get results.
I know, that's what's so frustrating. I mean, is this what it's going to be like with my kid? While I'm ruining his fun, Uncle Ron will swoop in with screaming yo-yos from the joke shop.
Ugh, the bane of every parent's existence. But I do understand where you're coming from. As a parent, you will have to make some unpopular decisions, and it will hurt when your child is mad at you. But it's silly to compare yourself with Uncle Ron. He may have a great relationship with them, but at the end of the day, you're their father. You're the one they'll go to when they need support.
Well, maybe they won't. I mean, maybe Ron just knows how to talk to kids and I don't.
Well, I can't say if Ron is better at talking to kids than you are. I've only heard this one story. But I can tell you that you're about to have a lot of opportunities to practice. Now, what's this about Slughorn?
What? Oh, right. Well, I've been avoiding him all day because he's always inviting me to something or other.
Oh, the Slug Club. My sister was in it.
Well, you weren't missing out on much. Anyway, after I left Ron and Evelyn, I went to the kitchen to sneak a snack, and he was there too.
Well, he hasn't changed then.
No. Anyway, he practically begged me to walk back to his classroom with him, and what he failed to mention is there was a double potions class in session. He sort of just pushed me to the front and told everyone I was going to say a few words.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I was at a loss. I had no idea what to do, so I just made something up.
What did you say?
I asked what they wanted to know. One kid raised his hand and asked how I took down a Hungarian horntail as a fourth year.
Is that true?
Well, not really. I mean, I had to face one, and the try was a tournament, and I knew I couldn't fight him, so I summoned my broomstick and distracted him in the air. He asked how I thought to do that, and I said basically I knew that the one thing I was good at was flying, so I used that to my advantage. And I said you can do that in any situation. That's what helped me defeat Voldemort. You know, at least when it wasn't pure luck, I had to learn how to use the few skills I did have to survive.
That sounds like excellent advice. I'm sure the students appreciated it.
Oh, thanks. Well, anyway, that was about the end of the hour, so I didn't have to come up with too much more.
You mean the second hour?
What?
Sorry, it's just you said it was a double potions class.
Well, yeah, it was. It was Slytherin and Ravenclaw, but it was just an hour.
That's what that means, though. That the class is 2 periods.
No, it doesn't. It means there's students from 2 houses. I mean, I guess double classes are usually 2 periods, but that's just how the schedule works.
Why would the schedule specify who's in the class over how long it lasts?
So you can, I don't know, prepare yourself.
I'm sorry. I never tell my clients they're wrong, but...
But you're going to make an exception.
All right. On that note, I think our time is up.
I'm going to ask around about this.
I said our time is up, thank you.
Oh, hi Draco.
Potter?
Well,